watching Let's Chat.
I am so thrilled to have with us in the studio this morning retired Marine Staff Sergeant and now best-selling author Johnny Joey Jones. Thank you so much for coming into the studio, Joey. So good to meet you finally.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
I love this. So you're a local guy. Channel 12 happens to be in your viewing area. What does this hometown mean to you, and why is this part important with your book?
Yeah, so it's real simple. I go on television out of New York, and we broadcast to people all over the country, and I always felt it my responsibility to bring, you know, for lack of a better term, a little bit of bacon grease to the opinions out there. I am from Northwest Georgia, and that includes East Tennessee. You know, we play football teams from here in high school. My friends live in the East Ridge now instead of Georgia. So much about this area is monolithic in its culture and a part of who I am. And I don't think I would be successful in presenting a message to folks if I didn't represent who I am and where I'm from. Writing this book, Unbroken Bonds of Battle, several of the key people in the book that we highlight are from this area.
Oh, really?
And so when you look at the themes in the book, the culture that we have here, I don't know, you know, it's kind of trendy now to call it Appalachian or to call it, you know, or to just simply call it Southern hospitality. But so much of the character of people that are important to me, I think we get it right here.
Well, tell me about this book, a little bit about the message in it. Why now?
Yeah, so the book's called Unbroken Bonds of Battle. And that really is the key aspect of the book is we all have relationships in our lives that are instrumental in getting through adversity, to the point sometimes we don't even see it or recognize it. And so writing this book for me, I'd been told for years, hey, we'd really love to have your story canonized, your story. And so when people say that, a lot of times they mean my war story, getting injured, or the story of how do you go from the battlefield to working in television news. But for me, that story is encapsulated and presented through the lens of these 10 people that were important to my life. My best friend growing up that served with me, the Gold Star wife of the young man standing beside me who lost his life when I lost my legs, the mentors I've had as I've grown in my most recent career, 9 of them service members, 1 of them a Gold Star wife. So there's some tenets of our character that are similar, but they bring in new experiences and their own adversity to help me get through mine. So this book, why this book and why now? Because this book tells everyone that reads it, there are a handful of people in your life that are helping you get through it and you don't even realize it. That's a key tenet. And why now? It's a lot easier to find reasons to be mad at folks than to appreciate them. And I think when you read this book, you learn to look at the people in your life and say, you know what, I really do appreciate you.
So this book ties in stories of these people in your life. Is that a summary of it?
Absolutely. So I start the book talking about my background, my upbringing, and most importantly, my dad's influence on me, good and bad. And I do that because he's the foundation of my character. Your parents are the foundation of your character. And then I go to boot camp. And I get through 2 deployments, losing 2 legs, losing 24 friends, and now, you know, more than 10 years afterwards, this career I have. And these are all people that have exceptional stories of their own, but came into my life either before, during, or after those events and influenced my decisions, my mental health, and my ability to persevere and overcome. And I look back and I say, well, these are 10 people that were great to me, but what did they go through to be a person with the wisdom and ability to help me? So I go and interview all 10 of them.
Wow.
And so each chapter, you learn a little bit about my relationship with that person. You learn everything about their background that they want to share. And then at the end, you learn how that turned into something useful for me in my story. So if you want to learn about me getting blown up on August 6, 2010, you learned about it through the eyes of Stacy Greer, who found out about that day through a much different perspective. Her husband lost his life that day. So you hear about her being in the hospital in Germany. I'm 2 doors down, getting woke up and told, hey, you don't have legs anymore. She's 2 doors down from me, being told, hey, we're going to flip the switch and your husband will come off these machines and no longer be with us. And you learn what I meant to her that I had no clue about. You know, she lost her husband, but at least I lived that day.
Wow, Joey, you once said life isn't planned, life happens to you. Let's say there's people watching today that might need advice for you or hope. What could you tell them?
We can make all the plans in the world, but the best thing we can plan for is the unknown, the unplanned for. And I say life isn't planned, life happens to you because it allows you the perspective of saying, listen, it's 5 o'clock traffic. I wanted to be there at 4:59 because I've got a meeting at 5 and that's important to me. Someone had an accident. Now there's traffic. I'm going to get there at 5:20, 5:30. How am I going to respond to that? we kind of have two options. It's a binary choice. You can be upset that you're late, and by the time you get there, ruin whatever it was you were excited about. Or you can take that moment to turn your favorite song on the radio, put the temperature to your favorite degree, and accept the fact that the worst part about your life in that moment is you're going to be comfortable and entertained for longer than you meant to be. So it's really just about perspective. The events in our life we play a role in, but we don't always get to dictate. But we always get to dictate how we respond to them, and that's a perspective issue.
Well, thank you for coming on the show, Joey.
Yeah.
It's a huge honor to interview you, and now I'll get to say you're number 4 on the New York Times bestseller.
Number 4 on New York Times bestseller. We sold the most books overall across the country this week, so there'll be other lists that'll come out in the next week that'll put us at number 1. New York Times has their own way of calculating. So yeah, we're a bestseller for New York Times and a number 1 across the country.
Awesome. Tell us how we can purchase the book.
You can get this book really anywhere books are sold. There are bookstores here in the local area. We've done a book signing with one of them, but you can go to foxnewsbooks.com and they have links to purchase the book through Amazon or Barnes & Noble or wherever it is you want to purchase the book.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on, Joey. Go check it out. Unbroken Bonds of Battle. So honored to have retired Staff Sergeant Marine Joey Jones here in the studio today. Thanks for joining us, Joey.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.